Hi everyone, welcome back. So today, hi everyone, welcome back. So today I'm gonna start a video. Hi everyone, welcome back. So maybe just a brief update of my. Hi everyone, welcome back. So maybe just a brief update of myself. So recently I just completed my studies, so in counseling, and then I actually found a full-time job consulting. So I still plan to do videos, YouTube videos quite frequently. But for this year, I'll probably do more on Notion apps, which is something that I found quite useful and I have been using a lot. So what is Notion apps, right? Notion apps is actually a third-party software, so it's actually not related to Notion. So what is it? It's that people have built apps that allow you to build mobile-friendly user apps for Notion. So for example, if you've been using Notion for a while, you know that like the Notion, so you know that their apps interface is not the best. And a lot of things that you can't hide it. There are a lot of limited controls, things like that. So that's where Notion apps come in. So I've been building Notion apps for a while now, like I think almost a year. But lately, with their introductions of like support for rollup and relations, they gave me the confidence to kind of push it for my clients, which I built an app for my real estate clients. And then also for personally, I've been using it for expense tracker, which is something that we'll be talking about today. So here's the exact example that the expense tracker I've been using. So it's a very simple app. Like you open your app, your phone, and then you have 3 tabs here. We have add, expenses, and profile. So basically this is where like I'll just type in like dinner, and then in my phone I just click plus, and then you can snap a photo, and then you can, by default, you just like dining, because that's probably the most things that I'll use. Then you can select different things, and then I can just put in a number, right, and then just click save. So you automatically go to my expenses tab, and also my Notion database. So if I go to expenses here, so you can see these are all expenses that I have snapped. So I really enjoy this process of tracking. It provides like a more meaningful way of interacting with data. Like when I go to here, I can kind of see all the photos, all the food, the things that I bought. Like, I had some guilty pleasure for like a sparkling honey lemon. I took a snap of the shops. So this is called, I think, Tea Life. That's very good. And the price is pretty nice as well. Now I snap a photo of my brunch. I had noodles. This is like an Indian flavor food. So it kind of changed my relationships on how I use Notion, and then opens up a lot of gates for me as well. So in this expense tab, you can even see like I can have kind of filter based on a category, and even have a plus button if I want to add on. And then lastly, I have this thing called profile page. So there's still some bug. I was talking to the developers like how the loading is very slow and doesn't load the exact correct number. So if I kind of reload the data here, so this is something that I have to kind of do. At least for now, they are kind of fixing it. The reason why it's kind of not loading properly is because I've been using a bit more complicated formulas inside. I'm using the Notion 2.0 formulas, which like the maps, the filters, things like that. So which makes it kind of slow. So here, like we have like a list of seeing how much money I've spent. So this kind of for February I spent a lot more this much, and for today I spent this much, and then this kind of like my monthly budget. So kind of targeting of how much I'm gonna spend for the month. And then here I have separate like category, like. So dining is 201, grocery is 12, gift I spent 6, date 0%. Oh no, I haven't spent much on dating this month. And yeah, you can see like this percentage here. So I'm actually able to set like a target for myself in Notion on how much money you want to spend right for this budget. So for food is 25%. I mean for dining, and then for groceries, I don't really know what's the exact amount, but now I spend 2% of it. So if you're good at math, you can probably count it. So yeah, so before we start on building Notion apps, I'll go through the Notion database to kind of show you what it is. But I wouldn't go too much into details because I'll plan to share the database with you guys as well, so you can work along with it. So here we have the monthly expenses. So these are the things that are recurring, like for my rental, my car loan, my insurance. So this is where I put a cost. So I don't need to put a date as it's not really required. And here's the one-off one, which was showing you earlier, like when we're tracking expenses one by one, right? So this is where we use the app to kind of take a photos, to upload it, and then track it. So here you can see this for today is 40, and you can see it's being updated here 40. And then if I add one more here, I don't know, maybe dinner again. Yeah, it's all about eating. And then we put 30, and then I put maybe 6. You can see it's being updated. Oh no, it's not today. If I put today, then it should be updated. Yeah, but it's updated overall here as well. So this is for the whole February. So this is exactly how it works for expenses. It's very straightforward. Right? So we just have photos here. That's it. And then for the person database, right? So we have something a bit more different here. So we have the date target, dining target, gift target, grocery target. So this is just set up so that every month I can just have like an expectation of how much I'm going to spend so that I don't go over the budget. So if you click inside here, you will open it. So you kind of see a couple of things as well. So here we have, I already have like a Pikachu image here, so just for fun. And then this is kind of the formula to kind of track the current budget, current expenses. And then we have, this is where I have the target, so that I can kind of see, okay, grocery, how many percentage I spend, date for dining. So dining can say I spend 9% for gift. So I have some more metrics to kind of track it. So of course, the formula is I'm using a combinations of LEDs, filters, maps. So I wouldn't go through it in this video, but I do have a tutorials that I'll link down below, which is like a playlist on explaining all these formulas and how it works. So if there's interest on more in-depth explanation of this, I can definitely do it, but that's it for now. And then for email, so I don't think I'll be doing this tutorial for this part, so you can just ignore it. So that's it. So now that we can go to Notion apps. So now that we're in Notion apps, so the first thing you do, you can just click create new app. And I'm gonna find a database. So expenses YT, person YT. So if you're using the free version of Notion apps, I think there's like a limitations on how many people you can share access to like privately, and then like how many line items for your database. I think it's like 500. So if you're just trying out, you're definitely not gonna hit the limits. So I don't think it's something that you should be worried about. So when you first come in, so this is kind of how the interface looks like, and it might be a bit more intimidating at the beginning, like kind of see a lot of things floating around. So no worries. This is kind of how the apps kind of help you to auto generate interface like screens for you. But in this case, I don't really want their screen. So what I can do is I can go to all screen, and then customize screen, and then just delete it. Just delete this, and then go all screen again, customize, delete it. Okay, let's start from a blank state. So the first thing, remember, if you remember that we added is the plus button where we add on new expenses. So click new screen, and then we want to add new expenses, right? Which is this one, expenses YT. And then there are a few options here. You can see there's few screen types. So update items, add new item, view item, and view one item. So today we're going to using I think it's 1, 2, and 3. So I'll kind of go through it with you. So add new item, just click this, just click plus, and this is where it will show like a more like a format here. So you can see like it kind of looks similar to what we have already. So we have name, we have frequency. So as I mentioned earlier, so it will always be a one-off. So we can do something about it. So we don't need this right now. So we can kind of just remove this. And then yeah, I want to take photos. I want to put, do I want to need dates though? Probably not. Anytime I take a photo, it probably means it's today, right? So we can just kind of remove that. And the types, yeah, we kind of want to type, and then the cost. So that's it. And what can we do from here? So there's some things you can do. For example, by default, they just pull in the name, the property name of Notion, right? You can actually kind of change the name as well, like, I don't know, item name. Not sure if I want to. I'll probably just keep this name. So the things that you can add on is, so you must have a name, so that's very important. So you can just put as required. You can have some also like a default value, so we're not going to touch that. So that's it for it. And then I'm going to close this. Let's just minimize it and go to photo. So another very cool features of Notion apps is that when it comes to photo, right, it allows you to select, do you want to, when you click the plus button, does it automatically just open your camera, or allows you to choose like camera or gallery. I'm not sure about iPhone, but for Android, this is what I'm using. When you click it, normally the app will ask you like, oh, you want to use camera, you want to use it, you want to select from a gallery. So for this case, I'll select camera because it's just the fastest. When I click the plus button, it automatically just allow me to open my camera and then snap it. So that's it. And then I'll select compressed photos. So I want the photo to be smaller. I don't want it to be too big. Sometimes it takes too long to upload as well. Allow multiple, so I don't want, so I only want one photo typically. And then is it required? So sometimes I might not have the photo yet, but I kind of want to just track the expenses, right? So I don't make this mandatory. And then next we have input types like this. So you can see there are a lot of different types in here. And you can, if you remember earlier, I make the default value as dining. So you can put in dining. Just every time you open this page, you just go to dining. And then just make it required. So we want to track it properly. And last is cost. So sometimes I might not have the cost as well. I might just leave it blank. So this is more like up to, I guess, personal preference, like whether you want to make it mandatory or not. But if you don't want to, that's it. That's fine. Last is you can just add on here, add new task, just kind of better indicate what this page is for. And next, we want to have a new screen. So we want to see, okay, we added our expenses. We want to see our expenses, right? How can we see it? So we click plus new screen, and then update items or view items. So the difference is that update items means that you can kind of change the thing that's already inside, versus view items, you can kind of only view it. So it's kind of like in Notion, you kind of just lock it. So in our case, we kind of want to update something, right? So click done. And then it looks kind of okay, but not really. So we kind of want to adjust it what we want to see, right? So here you can kind of see a different view types here. You can put grids, you can put separate into two, but personally I prefer the lists. And then the view less data, I think. I'm not too sure. Let's try it again later. So probably not though. I think I prefer this one. And then, so this is where Notion apps shines. It allows you to pick and choose what kind of data you want to show. It even supports formula as well to a certain extent. But when it comes to like maybe the formula that relies on like roll up using the maps, so it doesn't quite work, at least for now. I think the developers are planning to include it, but not quite yet. So now we can have, they have like descriptions, caption, color tags, images. So I just kind of remove all of them for now. So you can just select this, means that it's just blank. And then image, I definitely want to put it. So I just put photo. So you can see it's trying to show some photos here. But of course, all these don't have a photo, that's why it's blank. And then maybe you want to put the cost if you want to. You can kind of see the cost as well. And then what else you want to see? I think I did put cost here previously, right? So that the cost here. Now we do it slightly different. So this one I don't want it. What happened if I put view less data? I guess I can put a cost here then. Yeah, this kind of works. Although it doesn't really show the full thing. But that should work for now. Okay, and then now you can see that it's actually showing the monthly expenses as well, like the repeat expenses, right? So we don't want to see all this. So what we can do is just go to down here. There's a filtering, and then we can select type is equals to, or I guess it's not equals to. What was it again? Monthly. I'm not sure actually. Yeah, it's monthly. Frequency equals monthly. So the frequency is not equals to monthly. So this should disappear by right. I'm not sure why you're disappearing. Is type, no, this frequency, correct? Okay. So if I type monthly, it should work. It should, but okay, this is equals to. It's not equals to. Monthly, please work. Okay, you can see we have our lunch and dinner. Yeah, it's working now. It's good. And here we can see maybe expenses. We just write down. Okay, so this is where we view all expenses. And then another thing you kind of do, like I prefer to image style. You can do like a round. Looks better. Although we don't really have images now, but yeah, that's it. And then we can have. Oh yeah, before I move forward, I need to go back. Oh no. Let me just add one more. We want to the ability to add data as well. So the reason why I found that it's quite helpful as well to add data. So one is that we have more options, but at the same time is that, let me just delete this. We have photos, we have dates, type, and then cost. Okay. So here is that when you either can come in here to add new data. So the reason why I want to add new data is actually for the photo. So you remember if I told you earlier, like if I add photos in this tab, right? So you just automatically go to my camera. So I want the flexibility, like, okay, maybe I have it in my gallery. I snapped a photo previously. So in here, I can actually have the flexibility to allow it. So just do it this way. And then same thing, we can just make sure the name is required. And then if you want to make sure that the type is the same as well, so we can do the type equals to food, dining, not food. Okay. And then last is, that's it though, yeah. That's it. And then so we can here add cost, add expense. So if you go back and then you click here, so this is another interface again. Just something that a bit more confusing, or I guess a little bit more tedious, is that you kind of need to make sure that you set up each of the screens individually. So even though this one doesn't look like a screen, but when it press inside, it's actually another screen by itself. So you can see here the frequency is already selected as a one-off because we selected previously. So we can just remove this since we don't really need it. So we can have the date, that's fine I think, data types, and then the cost. So here is where, like, once you upload the things, like for example, if I created something without a photo, right? So here's where I can upload a photo later. So it'd be quite helpful here. So you can do like edit expense. And that's it. Okay, so before I go back, let me just kind of change the icon now. It's a bit ugly and I don't really like it. So here I can do like expenses. And then here I can change it to like a plus button, I guess. And where is the plus button? Okay, so I'll just call this an ad. And then I've kind of forgot about something for the ad. So at screen, I need to do filter as well. Not filter. So yeah, I don't think I've explained about actions as well. So actions basically when you create something, right? So it's kind of like a Notion trigger. So in this case, I kind of want it to set. I want to set it automatically for frequency. I want it to set automatically as one-off. So we don't need to have the users select it. And then we want it to be the dates. So you can select the date as today. So current day, current time. So automatically when they create it, right, you will just automatically select as today. So it's just easier for you, like, and just make it as snappy as possible. So yeah, 2 down, 1 more to go. So last one is view one item. So far we have been interacting with the expenses database. So now we need a person database. So select view one item. So boom, you can see like a lot of things here. It's a bit confusing, like why so many stuff. So normally if I get overwhelmed, I just delete everything. Like let me delete. I saw Pikachu. It's kind of cool. So now that we delete everything, before we go on, just name this as, let me call it dashboard maybe. And then I kind of want to change the icon because I'm very particular with how my things looks. I think I'll name it as profile, not dashboard. So just call it profile then. Click inside and then name it profile as well. And then let's add screen. So for view one item, basically is we bring in one item from one database item only. So why is this useful, right? So this is useful for dashboard. So we click this, you can select have a very cute Pikachu, kind of showing some information here. So, and then what other things I want to see? I want to see view gift. I want to see how many percentage I've spent, view date, dining, grocery. Yeah, that's about it. And then here you can see I don't want to see my own name here. So how can I edit it, right? So you can see view name here. It's actually something they call heading. So inside heading, if you expand it, right, you can actually kind of change what you want to show. You can see I select blank, it doesn't show my name anymore. For subheading, I do want to show something. I want to show today's expenses. No, I was wrong. I want to show current expenses. I'm wrong as well. Let me try to reload. Maybe the formula is not working. So that's kind of the problem as well when it comes to working with this, since the formula is not quite working alright, at least for now. But for most use cases, it's just perfect. Okay. This is, I was selecting gift, is it? Okay. No, it's not gift. Dining, grocery, I think dating. Date. Alright. So that's another thing, but before I go on that, okay, let's go back to my image here. So my subheading, I want to select dining, monthly expenses. Not really. Total expenses. Okay, yeah, this one, because I added some emoji here. And then for my dining, I want to change to today expenses. Nope. Where is the other one I put though? Current expenses. Not really though. Monthly expenses. I kind of forget which one is it. Current expenses. Yeah. Which one is it though? But yeah, I think regardless, let's just remove this for now. I don't think we need this for this showcase. This one we can remove as well. Oh, no, this one cannot. This one we need to show total expenses. Okay, I think the date one. Yeah, I want to remove this date one. I don't really need new. Okay, so this is where you can kind of see like, can we change the image style though? How does it look? It's too big already. Okay, something like this. I think it looks quite good. You kind of see like how much you spend on the month and then how much you spend today. and then how many percentage you spend for each of this group. And last thing you can do, like you can see that there's a GIF here, it's dining, kind of annoying, it's kind of repeating itself. So what you can do is just don't write it, just remove it, and then you can see that it automatically adjusts to make it more, I guess, smaller. Remove the date, and then remove grocery, and it looks much better. And then last thing. So if I show you earlier, like this page doesn't load by default. So what you need to do is actually add a refresh button here. So how can we add that? Is I need to think about it. I kind of forgot how to add that. So this is the settings. I think this is, no, I don't think it's here. User, database. So this is kind of where you can name your app. For now, I just leave this as Expenses YouTube, and then you can kind of put the app URL as well, and then kind of choose a color. So in this case, kind of Pikachu, maybe I'll put here, and I can select your logo. But for now, I'm just kind of select a logo that they provided. Which one looks more like expenses? Maybe just like a house, so I can buy a house with it. It doesn't go well. Maybe blue. Blue is fine. And then what is this actually? There's something here locking, manual data reload. Okay, this option is only available for private apps. So, so I have to make it private so they only can be able to manually load. So what we can do is just go to user. So this is, I realize there's quite a lot of things going on here, but select users, and then I have another database. Do I have it though? No, I have person database, login code with email address, and then email address name. So this is what I showed you earlier. And this is how this app can be used by multiple persons as well. So for now, I can just choose person restrictions. Okay, that's it. And then I think that's it though. Oh, I go back to settings and make sure you enable manual data reload, and then publish this, and then you guys should be able to use it now. So let me try it out now. So okay. What did I use? I think I used my company email. Thomas. Oh my gosh, I forgot my own email address. Okay, so when you're using mobile, you wouldn't see like this bar here. So basically, it's just like this view. So the developer is kind of planning for a desktop view app. So it will come in soon. I think at the end of this month or next month. So now that I received this, I'll go to my email. And then I'll receive this code here. So copy it and just paste it. And then, so this is like a one-time thing. Once you log in, and so even though I ask for your password again, you can kind of go see here. This is where I have my email. So this is where I can have my ad, expenses, and profile. And then similarly, like it will load a bit slow, and I kind of have to reload it to make it work. So kind of have to deal with what we have for now. And that's it. So I hope you find this tutorial helpful, and I realize that it's probably a bit overwhelming for like people that's trying out, right? But I guarantee you, like Notion apps is something very intuitive, but probably the difficult part is just that when you try to combine Notions and then Notion apps, right? So there are inherent like complexity when it comes to formulas, how some of the quirks and things like that interacts with each other. So yeah, and maybe just a quite quick shout out. So I'm still doing consulting work, so if you need someone to help you to build Notion apps, so please reach out to me. So there will be charges, of course, but yeah, happy to help you. Thank you.